How's it going, real closers? Welcome back to Power Hour with Gustavo from Power ISA. Today we got a very nice topic. How can an ISA help you business right now in a shifting market? How can you maximize the help of an ISA right now? So Gustavo, why don't you tell us a couple ways, the ISAs that you work with have helped businesses right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to jump in. Thanks, everybody. We took a little bit of vacation hiatus there, but we're back. We're back helping you guys out. And one thing I want to talk about real quick is just to establish that point that we're going through a shift in the marketplace. We're going through a shift, but it's a very uneven shift, right? I was looking at this data last week, and if you look at a place like Las Vegas, Nevada, there's 10 times more active listings in Las Vegas than pending listings. 10 times, right? That's a big number, however you want to slice it and dice it. That market, Las Vegas, is shifting hard, shifting really, really hard. It's really, really going towards more of a buyer's market. They're passing the balance market and going more to the buyer side, but that's not every part of the country. You look at a South Florida, specifically Miami-Dade County, there's 1.5 active listings for every pending listing. 1.5 active listings, okay? So completely different set of circumstances in South Florida than we're seeing in Las Vegas. So my point there is, number one, when you're addressing the shifting market, identify where your market's at. Look at numbers. Don't look at headlines. Don't get taken away with emotion, because some people see those headlines from Las Vegas and are panicking in Miami. That doesn't make any sense, guys, right? In Miami, you still got to deal with the hot sellers market. Like, don't get distracted. Look at what's in front of you and react to the market you're seeing on the ground. The basic question people should ask, is my market more like Las Vegas, or is it more like Miami? Like find where you are right now in this moment, not 6 months from now, not a year from now. Find out where you are in the moment, because the more we take, emotion and like panic and anxiety out of it, the more we can actually put our feet on reality. We can educate our clients on what reality is. And by that, I mean, you might see clients assuming that the seller's market is as hot as ever, and they might be wrong, right? Conversely, I'm also seeing this is hilarious. I'm seeing on the web buyers that assume that the whole country is now a buyer's market. That's also wrong, right? So you're seeing a lot of confusion in the marketplace. Number one, look at the numbers. How many actives do you have? How many pendings do you have? How many weeks or months of inventory do you have? In some of these markets, they've blown past 3 months of inventory. And some of them, they're still in the low single digits on inventory with months. So find out where you are and educate your clients and react accordingly. Because in some of these places, the market's moving very fast. Austin, Texas is another one. They're not quite as severe as Las Vegas, but they went from less than a month of inventory to more than 3 months in the last couple of months now. That's really quick, guys. It's really, really quick. Interest rates, people trying to catch the top of the market, jumping in to list their homes because they're feeling that the party's over. There's a lot of things happening all at once, but look at those local numbers, because that's where you're going to see some of these opportunities pop up. That's where you're going to see the opportunities pop up. So how can an ISA impact your business? The number one job of an ISA on your team is to add leverage to your lead generation. Add leverage to your lead generation. The most effective way for an ISA to impact your business is to plug them in to a system you've already got, right? If you're prospecting based, help them augment your prospecting. If you're internet based, you've got a lot of internet leads coming in, have them plug in to your conversion process, right? If you're 100%, you've got a massive database, the ISA should help you prospect your database. So the role of the ISA is to augment and to increase your leverage on whatever lead generation channel that you've got, right? So right now, one of the biggest opportunities for ISAs is, number one, expired listings. And a lot of folks are saying, oh my God, those are the worst. 6 months ago, they were unbelievably tough to convert. I get it. I understand it. Very few and far between expireds, tons of competition, and very unreasonable sellers. I understand. A lot of my clients stopped calling expireds about 6-7 months ago. Back in December, when the whole country hit like 3 weeks of inventory, like that historic, low, people were like, nah, I'm done. A lot of people stopped calling them and stopped calling FSBOs. But guess what? Things are different from 6, 7 months ago, right? I was measuring this with our friends from RedX, right? Shout out to RedX, love those guys. They sent me this data on July 1st, which is the second best day, historically, the second best day in the year to call expireds. This year, expireds were up 70%, 70% from a year ago, 70%. I think that number is really significant, and it's really indicative of what's going to happen the second half of the year. I think a lot of people are going to become expired. And a big difference from 6, 7 months ago is it's going to be people that they're shocked. They're like, what happened? They're not sure why their home didn't sell, right? Their agent might have been shocked as well that their home didn't sell. They might have had a really tough experience and they need some help, okay? They really need some help. The ISA can help you out by having a quick conversation with them and saying, hey, right? Are you still accepting offers for this property, right? Because my agent would like to talk to you about that. Hey, are you still thinking of selling this home? Great. I'd love to have my agent chat with you, right? If you're still thinking of accepting offers for this property, you want to entice them. You don't want to, the ISA is not there to negotiate with them. It's not there to talk about commissions, it's not there to talk about anything like that. They're just there to gauge the motivation for a lot of these folks, right? And in some of these markets, expireds are still really, really tough. In other markets, guess what? They're just going to get easier and easier as time goes by. There's going to be more of them. Going to be more of them. So expireds is a big opportunity out there. A lot of folks stopped calling expireds 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it is. I think it's time to pick up the phone, right? And try and get that opportunity. And an ISA can help you with that, right? They can make the 600 calls it takes to get those 3 good prospects that you need to follow up with. Really, really important, okay? The ISA should shake the tree. And it's the job of the agent to take that and take it to the finish line. But the ISA can add a lot of leverage there, okay? Number 2, akin to that last example, for sell by owners, guys. For sell by owners. Now, again, a lot of folks quit calling these, especially in January this year. I had one of my really best clients said, I'm done with FSBOs. This is way too hard. This is just ridiculous, right? How obstinate they were, how arrogant they had gotten, too cocky, because a lot of these folks could sell in the first week, right? They just put a for sale sign, boom, they were gone, right? That's changing. As the market becomes more balanced, as we're shifting in the marketplace, days on market is going up. I saw a post this last week. I put this on, in the group, and people were like, this seller was panicking that it had been 2 days on the market and they had not gotten an offer yet. In complete panic mode because their neighbors had sold within an hour. And this is a 100% real example. I am not making this up. 2 days in the market and they're asking what happened, what's wrong, right? So that's the level of concern some of these sellers like, what the heck is going on? I saw another post. I don't know if I put this one. If I hadn't put it in the group, I'll put it in the group. This seller that said 7 days on the market, no offers. Oh my goodness. And then they made an update the next day. Oh, we just got a full price offer yesterday. 7 days on the market, right? Again, days on market is increasing. All that to say, days on market is increasing. The same for sale by owners. They're experiencing the exact same thing. Days on market going up. So there's an opportunity there. They're not selling the first weekend. They're not selling the second weekend. The more balanced the market is, the more valuable it is to know what the heck you're talking about when it comes to sell a home. How does that have to show? What is the adequate pricing strategy? What is the right way to get it sold to the right kind of buyer? That mattered way less 6 months ago. Anything was selling, right? If newer agents made a mistake on pricing, the market was moving so fast, it didn't matter. If they overpriced a home, the market forgave them because there was no inventory. Boom, they might make it anyway. That has changed in a lot of places, right? Same thing for FSBO. They're experiencing the exact same thing. So checking, having your ISA, call that for sale by owner. And here's a big shift you need to make for sale by owners. Because a lot of people want to go for the jugular. Guys, it just doesn't work, right? The FSBO, like try calling a new FSBO and telling them you're there to list, you want to help them, show them how you can get their home sold. The FSBO still thinks they can sell their home. They're not going to listen to you. They're just not, right? I recommend a different approach. And I got this from one of my clients, John D. Smith, who's a master at expireds and for sale by owners. He offers them help on how to get their home sold. He follows up every Monday for 2 to 3 weeks. And they're saying, hey, I really recommend you improve those photos. That's really going to help you. Hey, I recommend you post this and that on social because that's really going to get you some more traction. Right? He helps them out, right? And he doesn't offer his service until that second or third touch because he says it doesn't matter what you say the first time you call them. They don't care. They're not there yet. But setting yourself apart by providing value is a higher chance they're going to take that second call, right? They're going to get back to you in that second text message, that second follow-up, and that third follow-up. His goal is to convert for sell-by owners within the third week. Convert them to a listing. Because if they haven't sold within 3 weeks, he goes, he probably knows what needs to happen. It's either improving the condition or how the property shows, or it's adjusting the price. It's usually one of those two, right? Condition, or at least how the condition shows to the market, or where the property is priced, if they're priced adequately, et cetera, right? But the FSBO's never going to listen to you unless they think you know what the hell you're doing and they're coming from contribution. That gives you a way higher chance of having a conversation with them, okay? So the ISA can help delivering that value, asking those questions, and giving you the information of the FSBOs that are willing to take your call. Because some don't want to talk to any agent at any point. Those might not even sell, right? They don't want to talk to an agent. They don't see any point, right? The ones that are more reasonable, more motivated, more curious, they do want to talk to an agent. So the ISA can help take some of those repetitiveness and all those calls. Who are the FSBOs that are willing to take your call? Okay, great. It's not the 15 that are on the market. It's these two. Talk to those two, right? Those are the ones you should be chatting with and take to the next level, okay? Opportunity number three, circle prospecting. Guys, I cannot tell you how many of my clients have told me in the less than the last 30 days, because of these news on these interest rate hikes, right? And the next expectation that they're going to probably raise them again this month, probably, people are jumping into the market. People that might have been a year out are saying, hey, we need to talk, right? Because I want to cash out this equity, like help me out. Because I'm moving up my plan to cash out and do the next thing that I want to do with my life. That might have been a year out. People are jumping in right now. And people are, this is pretty unheard of. This is not common, but clients of mine are taking listings from circle prospecting, which is crazy, right? Usually a circle prospecting lead is a year out, 6 months to a year out, right? If they're somewhat interested, they're very, very top of funnel. But some of these folks are jumping in because of the urgency created in the marketplace, okay? So circle prospecting, and that is an ISA activity by excellence. That is the number one thing your ISA can help you out with, because it takes so much calling and so many hours to generate that one prospect. Really, really important to understand that. It's a lot of hours to generate one, okay? Really, really interesting, really, really good activity. You should try. Everyone should try circle prospecting in the market and see what kind of results you can get. Because if you can get a decent contact rate and you can get 1 to 2 solid prospects per day, even if they're a year out, good things can happen with circle prospecting if you can reach those kind of numbers. And this is a really, really good time to give that a try because of the urgency people are creating, right? Honorable mention on another opportunity. Honorable mention, I would say, are buyer leads, okay? Buyers. That was a dirty word for the last 24 months, 18 months. No one wanted to work with more buyers. And I want listings. I don't want any more of these buyers. I can't find any homes. I mean, it's been tough for a buyer the last couple of years, right? It's been very difficult to be a buyer in this market. Forget about it if you had FHA or a VA loan or one of these government subsidized loans, because that's not even an opportunity. In the really competitive markets for the best homes, right? They weren't even considering those offers. Guess what? That's changed, right? And if I can generate a buyer lead today that is browsing homes, considering moving, motivated, that means that they're probably have factored in those new interest rates. If I'm looking for someone right now, if it's a buyer lead from a year ago, it's a coin toss. Are they still in the market or not? Who knows? But if I can generate a new buyer lead today, the likelihood of they factored in the new interest rates is very high. And then I can call them up and educate them on the market, tell them that might even in some of these shifting markets, sellers are paying to buy down that rate. They can bring it down 0.5% or 1%, depending on how much funds they want to put towards it. It's a great way to make that home more affordable and take off the edge of that really apparently really high interest rate, they can make it a lot more doable for a buyer, right? So I want to have those conversations. Some folks have been priced out. A lot of first-time home buyers have been priced out. But if you needed to buy a home at less than 3% interest rate, you were on the edge, right? You're already on the edge of that of affordability. You've probably been priced out, but there's a lot of folks that still are going to be in there. The general point I want to make to folks is that people are still predicting that in the US, over 5 million homes are going to be sold this year. 5.5 million homes will be sold this year, right? So if you focus on that more than the headline, or is the market crash here? Is it not here? The inflation numbers, focus on that number of millions of transactions out there, and what is the most effective strategy to get your unfair share of those transactions. You can make progress in the business. You can survive any shifting market, and you can find the way to thrive even in a shifting market, because one of these activities is going to take off in your market. I promise you. Expired or FSBO, buyer leads, circle prospecting. One of them is really going to take off depending where you are. But if you're not trying any of them, you're not going to have a chance. You're not giving yourself a chance. The riskiest thing you can do, in my opinion, in this market is just relying, for example, on one lead source, which might be your database, right? Those past clients, that referral and recommendation, that can freeze up for a few months. It can freeze up for the better part of a year, right? If, for example, my niche, this is a great example. My niche, my bread and butter in Seattle, when I was an agent for 3 years, did almost 100 transactions, was the high-tech industry. I had a bunch of buddies, friends, acquaintances, people that knew me that were at Google, Amazon, Facebook, Boeing, all the big companies, right? Well, what happened this year? I mean, they're still high earners, they're still great, but if you, a lot of their income, a lot of their wealth comes from stock options and stock holdings. What's happened to crypto? They love crypto. What's happened to the market and the crypto the last 6 months? They've taken it on the nose. 20% down, 30% down, 50% down in some of these holdings, right? So they're suddenly not feeling as rich as they did 6 months ago. My opportunity to sell their homes might have been severely affected, right? If I only relied on that one segment. To make your business truly recession-proof and surviving a shift and thriving in a shift, you've got to try some of these other lead gen sources, whether it's prospecting, whether it's internet leads. You've got to have at least 3 legs on that stool, because one of them is gonna thrive in this environment. One of them, you got to find it. If you're not trying, you're not going to really find it. Give it a shot, try it out, figure out which one is the best fit for you, and then ISA is a great way to add leverage and make it that much easier for you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And yeah, I mean, these are busy activities, right? I mean, these are numbers game. You're going to be hours.
It's a numbers game, 100%.
Hours. I mean, might as well have an ISA take care of all that and then just get you the qualified buyers, get you the qualified sellers.
I love the analogy of shake the tree, right? Shake the tree. Who's at least willing to take your call? Who's at least willing to have a dialogue? Because that's where the agent can come in and add a ton of value, right? I wouldn't tell folks to approach it with the ISA is going to generate a bunch of come list me's. That's the wrong approach to have too, right? The ISA saves you all that time of prospecting in that big ocean and talking to the most motivated, the most receptive of those potential sellers or buyers, right? And saving you that time and leveraging your time to talk to higher level prospects. That's what the ISA is there to do.
Absolutely. So leverage an ISA, and we have a deal going on for real closers, right? So we'll drop the link.
Definitely. Yeah, we can drop the link in the comments. powerisa.com/real closers. Check it out. Take advantage of that deal. If you've been thinking about it, I was checking this morning. We have 2 part-time ISAs available to start ASAP. 2 part-time ISAs as of this morning, right? You know, tomorrow we'll see. But right now we've got 2 part-time. If you want to get started, dip your toe in the water. A part-time ISA might be a good investment. Check it out. See what you can do. See what you can generate. And that might be a great opportunity. They're willing to start right away. But even if you can't start right away, typically within 2 to 3 weeks, you can still launch any campaign. So check it out and see what kind of deals we have for you guys.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. So we're going to be back here next Monday, Power Hour, 8:30. So have a great day, guys. Have a great day, Gustavo. We'll see you again later.
Thanks, everybody.